what are your first impressions from the first week of the MLB?
Well, shout out to the Cardinals. They got a win today against the Marlins, and I believe
The winless
I
Marlins.
think they're 4-4 on the season now, so they're at 500,
Yeah.
which is much better than the San Francisco Giants records, who just got swept by the Los Angeles Putos. And you know what? I got to tell you, the most obvious thing to come out of the opening week of the season is this. The Arizona Diamondbacks, they reloaded. The Padres, they reloaded. The Giants, they reloaded. The Dodgers spent $1 billion. They reloaded. Seems like nothing of significance happened outside of the NFC West, like it's NFL. Outside of the Western Conference that all those teams play in. Obviously, the Yankees got Juan Soto. But here's the thing. Blake Snell is not pitching yet for the San Francisco Giants. I believe he's going to pitch on Monday, they're talking about, and against the Nationals. The Giants reloaded. The Giants signed a third baseman, Matt Chapman. They went out and got Jung Hoo Lee to play in center field. They added to the rotation. They added. They're supposed to be really good this year. They're supposed to hopefully compete for a wild card and make the playoffs. And the Dodgers kicked their ass. So a week into the season, the Dodgers are legit. I tell everybody that listens they won a Mickey Mouse championship in 2020. They only won 60 games before they went to the world, the playoffs and won. That was a joke. Nobody cares about your fake World Series, but holy hell, they look legit this year. It's a little weird. They're playing Mookie Betts out of position. He's not a shortstop, but he's killing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Their bullpen has got an eyebrow raised. Obviously, they have the best player in the world who's not pitching this year, so their rotation isn't as strong as it could be. But the damn thing about the Dodgers is they're going to be active all year on waiver claims. They're going to be active all year on the trade market. And holy hell, I don't know if anyone can stop them.
Yeah, talking about the some of the relief pitchers and their closing pitchers too. That's really when the Cardinals could get something going. We couldn't get anything going against Glasnow. We couldn't get anything going against Bobby Miller, who pitched a hell of a game. He looked like a monster out there, right? I think was he only like 24 or something like that? He's super young. I already talked about Yoshinobu Yamamoto. He's looked fantastic, and we really couldn't get a whole lot going against the starting pitchers. Even though we did pull out a win in one of those games, it ended up costing us a win on the next day because we ended up going through our bullpen, mainly because of the rain delay, and we had to pull Lance Lynn and all this stuff. So the Dodgers, look fantastic. Mookie Betts is literally leading the league in everything up to this point right now. So shout out the MLB TikTok because they're fucking hysterical. The responses, whoever they've hired, whatever young kid, whatever 18-year-old they've hired for their marketing strategy, congrats. Now you're playing with some of the guys that that have really funny marketing strategies, along with like the Brooklyn Nets have a really good social media manager. So looking at the Cardinals,
you know what's so funny about that is capping back at the trolls is one thing. Capping back at trolls, I'm all here for it. But this guy was like, I already loved Major League Baseball, but this season what's going on is making me love it even more. The guy's like, I didn't ask for your life story. This is the MLB account. He's like, I didn't ask for your life story. And the guy's like, oh, my bad. Like, it's just, that shit's funny. Hey, baseball's got to do something, man. They got to do whatever they can do because they're in a worse place than the NBA is. And baseball's so territorial now. Like, the reason why you don't know anyone that plays for the Marlins or you don't know anyone that plays for the Mariners because they don't do a good job of, how did anyone know when the league when the season kicked off? It kicked off 2 weeks ago in Korea. Did anyone watch those games? The Dodgers were playing, right? One of the biggest scandals in baseball history was unfurling right then and there, right? Did anyone know that how do you start the season on a Thursday? What the hell is that? Like, why not a Friday? Why not a bunch of prime time? It's just a bunch of I don't know. I know that there's a certain family member of us. He's a little crazy and he hates Roger Goodell, who's the best commissioner in the history of any sport. But holy hell, Rob Manfred is terrible. He is literally a trash can. And the fact that, don't make me bring him into the studio like I did Justin Fields. The fact that he's letting John Fisher dick around the Oakland Athletics and their fans when the Las Vegas mayor's like, nah, we don't want him. Everyone in Las Vegas like, no, we don't care about baseball. Oh, we're coming anyway. Oh, now we're going to go play it in a AAA ballpark for 3 years. I'm happy about it. But baseball is just so lost right now. And
Yeah.
the Dodgers, hopefully they drive some, draw some eyeballs to the game. And luckily the Giants don't have to play them till like the end of May. So
Yeah.
whatever.
Looking at the Cardinals, because again, that's really the only thing I can really comment off of. Brendan Donovan looks great. He's leading the team in average, 308 batting average currently. Victor Scott, real young kid. He's playing center field. Looks great defensively. Struggling at bat majorly. I think he's averaging 106, 108, somewhere around that ballpark. 120. He doesn't look great at the plate. Wilson Contreras, from what I've heard, he struggled greatly last year defensively at the catcher position, but right now he looks fantastic. He's keeping everything in front of him. He's leading the team in home runs and slugging percentage. He even had a forced ball on Matsui, the relief pitcher for the Padres, because he had his foot right outside of the box and Matsui was trying to pitch and had a whole situation. It pissed him off, and it was pretty funny. Apparently, he's known for doing some of that too in late games and frustrating guys. Nolan Gorman and Paul Goldschmidt are taking a ton of strikeouts so far. Nolan Gorman's at like 12. Paul Goldschmidt's at like 10. So we got like 22 strikeouts between those two guys alone. Mason Wynn at shortstop looks fantastic. Cannon of an arm. You win Brandon Crawford. Shout out Giants. When Brandon Crawford's out there instead of Mason Wynn, it makes a huge difference defensively and at the plate as well. He's batting 313 with 1 RBI, so he looks pretty damn good as well. So I like watching him a lot because he's a younger guy. I'm getting back into it, so having the younger players and getting invested into them is pretty cool. When it comes to the pitching, I'm not that impressed, I guess. Miles Michaelis had a bounce back game the other night. Kyle Gibson in his debut looked fantastic for the Cardinals. He's been a lifelong Cardinals fan, has been wanting to play in St. Louis apparently a very, very long time. Zach Thompson does not look good, and the only reason he's pitching is because Sonny Gray is out, and I know he was supposed to pitch in Memphis and for the AAA team like 2 days ago. A day ago. So then it got delayed and it's getting moved, and he's doing practice games instead, simulated games. So we'll see when Sonny Gray comes back. It should be sometime this month. So I'm excited to see what he brings to the table because apparently he is supposed to be pretty damn good. And I'm excited to watch him because right now the starting pitching rotation doesn't look great. I like our relief pitchers and our closers. They look pretty damn good, but some of the pitching has been kind of lackluster. And outside the Dodgers, because you can't really expect much because it's goddamn Dodgers, we lost to the Padres yesterday, and we probably shouldn't have. We left a ton of guys on base, and it was just a little disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, your guys' team is filled with a lot of, like you mentioned, Brandon Crawford, Paul Goldschmidt, Nolan Arenado. Sonny Gray's fun to watch pitch, so it'll be exciting to get him back. Unfortunately for you guys, your farm system is ranked like 23rd or 24th in the league. Your number one prospect is already up on the opening day roster playing shortstop. So it's just one of those things. Obviously, they made a lot of moves at the deadline last year to restock that farm system. You're probably not too familiar with that yet, which is cool. You'll get there. But they just lack the high ceiling talent.
Yeah.
Normally, when your team sucks, you're excited about somebody coming up. You know what I mean? Like last year, as the Giants were falling out of the playoff race, it was like, oh, we get to watch Kyle Harrison pitch. We get to watch Luciano hit. This is cool, you know? And so it's just one of those things. Baseball is one of those, you can really get stuck in purgatory year after year. So hopefully for the sake of both of us and being able to talk about it on the podcast, they make some moves to get a little more aggressive, and Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado have some bounce back years, and hopefully the Dodgers have to quit playing baseball because they get caught up in a betting scandal or something. That'd be cool.
Yeah, it's definitely been exciting. Man, we don't play each other in San Francisco for a hot minute, so be a long time before we can go to a game. But
that
when it
weekend
happens,
is my birthday weekend, though, so
beautiful.
chances are we can make it.